Good evening, friends. Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Maria. I'm the publisher editor for my dad's criminal law book. It is the Criminal Law Case Digest. The purpose of this book is actually as a review material and introduction to criminal law for aspiring law students, aspiring criminal lawyers. It's very concise. So each case, he would give the main details of the case, and he would include dialectics, which means it's examining the case and finding out why a certain crime was imposed and penalties imposed upon the perpetrator of the crime. Pardon my voice. So I've been talking a lot on the phone at work, so kinda not doing well on that front. But let's start reading. We are reading from title or chapter 5, which my dad titled as The Fashion of Poisoning People. He used a quote from William Shakespeare's The Merchant of Venice, and it reads, "If you prick us, do we not bleed? If you tickle us, do we not laugh? If you poison us, do we not die? And if you wrong us, do we not take revenge?" Case number 36. Taking advantage of his friendship with Guillermo, Armingol, who worked for Guillermo as a helper in Guillermo's business of buying and selling appliances, prevailed upon Guillermo to insure himself a large amount of money with the Philippine American Life Insurance Company, with him as the principal beneficiary thereof. The life insurance policy having been issued, Armingol then waited for the opportune time to poison Guillermo with arsenic. The opportune time came one day when Guillermo bought some 10 galunggong fishes from the market and cooked it into a paksiw, which is a Filipino recipe. Armingol poured the arsenic solution on Guillermo's plate of rice and also on the paksiw. And about an hour later, Guillermo started vomiting, complained of dizziness, and started having loose bowels. He died while receiving medical treatment. To mislead the physician who treated Guillermo and collect the insurance money, Armingol told the former that the victim was suffering merely from loose bowel movement. Thus, the mention of gastroenteritis in the death certificate as the cause of death of the said victim. Question: what is the crime committed by Armingol? You have 4 choices. A. Murder by abuse of confidence with evident premeditation. B. Murder by means of poison aggravated by abuse of confidence and evident premeditation. C. Murder through falsification of official document, in this case death certificate. Or D. Homicide. So there are some dialectics for this case provided by my dad. So murder, as defined under Article 248 of the Revised Penal Code as amended, is the unlawful killing of a person which is not parricide or infanticide, provided that trickery, among others, attended the killing. The presence of any of the enumerated circumstances under Article 248, which includes the use of poison and evident premeditation, is enough to qualify a killing as murder. There is also evident premeditation in this case. Armingol had nurtured, deliberated on, and persisted in his evil plan to kill Guillermo for money from the time he broached the subject of life insurance to the latter until he finally poisoned him. Present here, therefore, is that period of time sufficient to afford full opportunity for meditation and reflection, and long enough to allow his conscience to overcome the determination of his will if he had desired to hearken to its warnings. The crime was spawned by cold-blooded scheming and the tenacious persistence of Armengol in moving forward to its conclusion, the accomplishment of the felony. The aggravating circumstance of abuse of confidence likewise attended the killing. It was this confidence which enabled the shrewd Armengol to deceive Guillermo into signing his own death warrant, which is taking a life insurance policy for a large amount of money and making his would-be assassin the primary beneficiary. The victim's confidence and trust in Armengol facilitated the commission of the crime, the latter taking advantage of the victim's belief that he would not abuse the confidence reposed in him. To be liable for murder, it must be proven that 1. A person was killed, 2. The accused killed him, c. The killing was attended by any of the qualifying circumstances mentioned in Article 248, and 4. The killing is neither parricide nor infanticide. All the elements of the crime of murder are present in this case. The crime is murder when the killing was attended by only one of the circumstances enumerated in Article 248. When more than one of the said circumstances are present, the others must be considered only as generic aggravating circumstances. Thus, in this case, the crime was attended by the use of poison, abuse of confidence, and evident premeditation. Only one of them, the use of poison, shall qualify the killing to murder, and the other two, which are evident premeditation and abuse of confidence, shall be considered as generic aggravating circumstances. However, when the other circumstances are absorbed or included in one qualifying circumstance, they can no longer be considered as generic aggravating. In this case, trickery also attended the killing of Guillermo. There is trickery when the aggressor adopted a mode of attack intended to facilitate the commission of the crime without risk to himself. In this case, Armengol. Because the use of poison has already qualified the killing, trickery can no longer be appreciated separately as a generic aggravating circumstance because it is already included or absorbed in the qualifying circumstance of the use of poison. In one case, where the crime was attended by the aggravating circumstances of superior strength, aid of armed men and dwelling, the aggravating circumstances of superior strength and the aid of armed men, as well as nocturnity or nighttime, which also attended the commission of offenses, are already included in the qualifying circumstance of trickery and cannot be appreciated separately from the latter circumstance. So, after reviewing the dialectics, what is the crime committed by Armengol? The answer is B. Murder by means of poison, aggravated by abuse of confidence and evident premeditation. In the Philippines, poisoning is referred to as administering noxious thing. Article 245 explains it as every person who administers or causes to be administered to any other person or causes any other person to take poison or any other destructive or noxious thing is guilty. A. Of an indictable offense and liable to imprisonment for a term of not more than 14 years if they did so with an intent to endanger the life of or to cause bodily harm to that person, or B, of an indictable offense and liable to imprisonment for a term of not more than 2 years, or of an offense punishable on summary conviction if they did so with intent to aggrieve or annoy that person. An exemption, number 2, subsection 1, does not apply to a medical practitioner or nurse practitioner who provides medical assistance in dying in accordance with section 241.2. Letter B, a person who does anything for the purpose of aiding a medical practitioner or nurse practitioner to provide medical assistance in dying in accordance with section 241.2. So from those provisions, you can say that euthanasia is actually allowed by law in the Philippines. So my dad always asks me when we're reading a case, something similar to this, what is the moral of the story? The moral of the story is do not trust anybody. You can trust somebody to a certain point, but always trust your instincts. In this case, Guillermo cannot even trust his instinct. His instinct is to trust Armingol because he has been his helper for a long time. So that would be the case that we are reading today. I hope you learned something, and I'm going to do another video for another type of crime involving poison. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you again. Please like and subscribe.